broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege. Privilege.
What up? This your boy Chris Cross checking in. This is a TCMMA podcast. And UFC Vegas 98 has just ended. Brandon Royval, #1 contender, flyweight division. I know you hear that and you're like, wow, flyweight. Takes on Tatsuro Taira, undefeated, 16-0, #5 flyweight. Two guys used to train together. And this fight was absolutely an instant classic. It goes to a decision. And it's very close. And this is what it sounded like. Brandon Royval and Tatsuro Taira putting on an unbelievable main event here as we await the decision. It's a strike game of Brandon Royval versus a takedown game of Tatsuro Taira. But it seems like Brandon Royval should get the win here. We'll see. Oh, it's going to be split. 48-47 Taira. Oh, man. 48-47 Royval. Much closer than I thought. Oh my gosh. Come on. Brandon Royval gets the split decision win. And Tatsuro Taira in tears for the first time in his career. He loses. And he falls to 16-1, but take nothing away from him. I mean, he's only going to get better on the ground as he looked great at times in this fight. And he's got nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, impressive performance, and he's so young that he's going to be around for a while. Another 2 years, he beats Brandon Royval easily. But tonight wasn't his night. Exactly what Brandon Royval said. So great fight between these two, man. Main event, flyweight division, UFC Vegas 98. Yeah, so clearly disappointed. We really thought that Tatsuro Taira would get the job done. Looked terrible in round 1. Round 2, dominated in control on the takedowns. Round 3, didn't look so great. Round 4, dominated on the ground again, in control. Round 5, it was a flurry back and forth, but Brandon Royval clearly won that round. And what it turns out to be is everything went the way it should. But Sal D'Amato, right, gave Taira round 1, and that's what made it split. It should have been 48-47, really across the board, but it made it interesting that it was a split decision. But it didn't go Taira's way, and we fall to 19-15 in the main event. More on all the wins and losses and the predictions tonight. But first, let's get into the co-main event real quick, because this one went to a split decision as well. Yeah, Brad Tavares versus Jung Yong Park. We went with Jung Yong Park, but very, very close decision. Check it out. Brad Tavares and Jung Yong Park awaiting the decision. And a very important decision, I mean, for both guys, looking to move up and get a fight above themselves right now as far as contenders. And here we go. I mean, Jung Yong Park should get the win when you look at the numbers, but could he get robbed? 29-28 Tavares. Jung Yong Park can't believe it. 29-28 Park. 29-28. Oh my gosh. Wow. Jung Yong Park gets the win, and he's all smiles now. He couldn't believe his reaction to the first judge. Was amazing. But he does get the split decision victory, so credit him with a big win in a very relevant division right now, middleweight division. Jung Yong Park is going to move to 18-6. So, listen, he led 100-74 in significant strikes. He had 632 of control time on 2 takedowns. Less than a minute of control time for Tavares. So it wasn't close in terms of the numbers, but the second round was very important in terms of Jung Yong Park getting the victory. So that's the way it turns out. Middleweight division, UFC Vegas 98. Yeah, so we got that one by split. We got another one tonight by split decision. Things looking great for us throughout the night, and then we lose Taira by split decision. I mean, it could have been crazy, but it wasn't.
Oh no!
You know, when you lose the main event, that's not good, because that one's times 20 over all the other fights, and we didn't get it tonight.
Oh no!
But listen, we'll be back, of course. Next week, another main event. We just keep going. 19-15 on the year. Great night of picks. But before we get into those, lightweight division here, coming up next, you had a great one between Grant Dawson and Rafa Garcia. Could a guy that's 21-2 really fall? Could Grant Dawson really go down in this fight? I said no going in. Let's see if that holds true. Grant Dawson taking control now, climbing up the back, looking to get the body triangle locked in. And look at this, man. Garcia's taking it right now. And this guy's impressive, man. It's what, 21-2, something like that? Not the greatest numbers, and finds ways to win. And Dawson is getting closer and closer here early in the second round. I mean, Garcia can't take much more of this. Now he's dropping elbows. Now pounding away with the hammer. Oh, boy. Ref saying fight back. He's not fighting back. He stops it, and that's it. Big TKO victory for Grant Dawson. And he is fired up, baby. He is fired up. Lightweight division never lets down. Never lets down. So big win for Grant Dawson. And what is he, 22-2 now? Let me give you the exact. Yeah, he's going to be 22-2, man. Big finish here, lightweight division. UFC Vegas, 98. Yeah, and I expected a win, but I didn't know it was going to be a KO that quick because, you know, you look at his numbers, they're not great. But he's 21-2, so it's hard to figure out. It's hard to figure out. But the bottom line is he got the job done, and that's all that matters. So big ups to Grant Dawson tonight getting the victory. And I think that was the last finish of the night. We had 3 straight decisions down the stretch. That was fight 4, right? Lightweight never lets down. Welterweight division, Daniel Rodriguez won a split decision. So you had 3 of the 5 fights go to split decision in the main card. That's how wild it was. So D-Rod got that one. So we got D-Rod and Jung Yong Park. Then in the prelims, the final, or the main event in the prelims, you had CJ Vergara taking on newcomer Ramazan Temirov. We took a chance on the newcomer. We don't often do that. I just, looking at the record, it's like 17-2, and I'm like, there's no way this guy's losing his UFC debut. He's going to be fired up. Well, it turns out I was correct. Temirov's pounding away now. Vergara running, looking to recover. And Ramazan's not going to let him. He's pounding away. CJ Vergara goes down again. He's back up, and he's taking it. He lands a left, though, so he's okay for the moment. We'll see what happens. Ramazan is for real. Try to tell you coming in. Making the debut, big right. And Vergara is sliding backwards. Ramazan is still pouring it on now. Shots to the body. CJ Vergara is holding on. Ramazan more to the body, and that's it, man. He finishes him with body shots. Incredible win for the newcomer. Welcome to the UFC, baby. Ramazan Temirov gets the win. And this guy's got a lot of KOs for sure. And he's going to move to an impressive 18-2 out of Uzbekistan. We talked about him this week in the lead-up. And he gets the big KO in a division that isn't necessarily known for KOs, the flyweight division here at UFC Vegas 98. Yeah, so big win for the newcomer, making a statement. And the guy's record is ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's definitely a big-time contender coming into the UFC. We got to keep an eye on him going forward. But we won't see him again for a couple months, I'm sure. Another fight we wanted to highlight was the opening fight of the night. And Clayton Carpenter didn't surprise me one bit. I told you he was winning this fight, right? Against a guy that's coming out of the Contender Series. Check it out. With the body lock now, Carpenter has Rocha. And Rocha's trying to fight it off now. He's underneath. Look at this. Rocha's trying to hold on. I don't think. He's got the body lock. Oh, this is over. This is over. You need to tap, Rocha. You need to tap. And I don't know how he's still hanging on. He's fighting the hands. So that's helping a little bit, but this thing is close. It's like, how long? But when you see his eyes getting big, I don't know. That's it. It's over. It's over. The ref has to step in, and Arosha did not tap. Incredible. Incredible. And like I told you, Clayton Carpenter is just the better fighter. So a great start tonight. Look at him fixing his hair. Clayton Carpenter gets the win from the back, gets the body lock in, gets underneath, and the submission victory says it all. So Clayton Carpenter, I believe, is going to remain undefeated, right? I believe he's going to remain undefeated. And yes, 8-0. So impressive here. Second round victory. Anytime you get a submission or KO in the flyweight division, that's a big thing because these guys are used to going the distance. But Clayton Carpenter moves to 8-0 here, flyweight division. Kicking things off the right way at UFC Vegas 98. Yeah, so another big finish there. There's a couple other finishes we didn't even get to. And the way it turns out tonight is, look at that, 10-2 on the night. Right? And if Taira gets a split decision, we're 11-1, and then we're talking all about Junior Tafa, who beat Sean Sharaf. And I would have been so upset if we wouldn't. I mean, I would have liked to go 11-1 rather than 10-2, and especially get the main event, because now we're down to 19-15. But if it came down to one fight that we lost a perfect night on a fight that was switched late in the week, and we just took a chance on Sean Sharaf, I would have been highly upset. But overall, I mean, good night. Always want to get the main event. I mean, that's a huge bonus. And if you don't get it, it kind of overshadows the rest of the night. We've told you this before. We've had bad nights and got the main event. It's like, we'll take it. And we've had great nights like this and then lose the main event. And it's like, man, you know, it just stinks. But 10-2, we gotta take that. 19-15, not great. Not great, but not terrible. We got to finish strong over the next 2 months. But overall, 251 and 162. Desperately trying to get plus 100. We're plus 89 right now. And we just got to continue grinding. It'd be great to get there before October comes to an end. Please believe it. So yeah, so listen, you got Dana White's Contender Series on deck on Tuesday. Then we got UFC Vegas 99 next week, in a great main event we're going to be talking about throughout the week is Anthony Hernandez versus Mikel Pereira. I mean, that's a fight that everybody wants to see, and it's going to be much more intriguing than tonight's fight, just simply based on the division, right? Flyweight main events are tough, even though it's a #1 contender. It doesn't get eyeballs like other main events, that's for sure. So you got Tuesday and Saturday this week, and then Contender Series is over. This is week 10. And then things heat up big time because you got UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. That card's kicking off at 10 a.m. Man, I'm excited about that. That's going to be an all-day affair. And then the following week, believe it or not, or I believe it's the following week. I have to look at it. It might be a week or two after that, but then you got UFC Vegas 100. Right around the corner. And this is important, right? Because this all goes back to when the whole world shut down, right? And sports was shut down and the UFC started having events at the Apex Center. UFC Vegas 1, UFC Vegas 2, right? All of a sudden they're able to keep their fight nights going, week-to-week fights, right? After a temporary break. And it looked like no sports are going to be happening for 6 months to a year. And the UFC says, no, we're going to keep grinding. And then all of a sudden you have these fights in the Apex and it gets them through that situation. Well, it's going to be a big celebration for UFC Vegas 100. And you can already tell because I look at the trends and things like that, and you can see people are already looking up that card. So that means we need to get to their predictions as quickly as possible. But we got to get through Vegas 99 and almost all of UFC 308. So it's going to take a minute. So we got a lot of work ahead in the coming days. We've been doing podcasts on the Contender Series. Don't think we're going to do one this week. It's time to start focusing on the UFC fights on Saturdays once again, especially when Khamzat Chimaev is fighting in less than 14 total days right now. If you go Saturday to Saturday, it's 14 days, but that card's kicking off early. So technically it's going to be less than 14 days right now. Khamzat Chimaev is back. And I cannot wait. That's like the Super Bowl for me. And he's fighting Robert Whittaker. Get out of here. If he can pull this thing off, my man's right there for the title shot. Right there. But listen, that's going to do it for now. That was UFC Vegas 98. Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. Instant classic. This is a battle from beginning to end. 5 straight rounds. And it never lacked any action. It was just action-packed from beginning to end. But listen, until next time, I'm Chris Cross. This is a TCMMA podcast. Have a great day, and God bless. As always, peace.